Hello, everybody. My name is Mr. Bogdan, and I am your sixth grade science teacher. I put together this little video to kind of introduce myself, something I thought would be, you might want to know that I'm, in fact, a normal human being. So, a little bit about me. Number one, I'm not from around here. In fact, a little bit of trivia. I was born in a country that no longer exists. Um, my father was in the Air Force, and he was stationed at an Air Force base in Frankfurt am Main in what was once known as West Germany. Germany, for a period of time in history, was split into two countries, West Germany and East Germany. Um, so I was born in Frankfurt am Main, West Germany. Since then, Germany has now unified, and so now it's just one country. But yeah, West Germany was its own separate country, and that's where I was born. Now, to answer a few basic questions that I always get, am I German? Not a bit. I was born to two full American parents on an American military base. I am American. I don't have any German citizenship or anything like that. I really don't speak German. I was only 11 months old when we moved away, and so I, didn't learn any German language there. I took German in high school just because I thought it was cool, but I've forgotten most of that too. When I was a little bit less than a year old, my father got moved by the Air Force to another Air Force base in Omaha, Nebraska. So, to give you an idea, there's Cincinnati, and so I was a few hundred miles west. Um, I lived there all the way through seventh grade. And then in between seventh and eighth grade, my father got moved again. This time, the Air Force moved him to an Air Force base outside, or actually right inside Washington, D.C. So instead of being west of Cincinnati, which is right there, I was now a few hundred miles east of Cincinnati. Um, Went there for eighth grade through high school, and after high school, it was time to go to college. That is what finally brought me here to Cincinnati. I went to Xavier University to become a teacher, and graduated, ended up liking Cincinnati so much that I ended up sticking around. So I've actually lived in Cincinnati longer than I lived anywhere in my life. I just can't really say I'm from Cincinnati. All right, a little bit about me. Number one of my favorite comic strips of all time is called Calvin and Hobbes. It's about an imaginative little boy and his stuffed tiger that comes to life whenever nobody else is around. It's a cute, fun strip. Well, his name is Hobbes, and a few things about Hobbes. One of the running jokes in the comic is that Hobbes always attacks Calvin whenever Calvin comes home to school. Hobbes, being a tiger, loves to pounce on things. And the other thing that Hobbes really likes to do is nap and cuddle and just overall be chill. The reason I'm bringing this up is that I have two cats, and one of them is an orange tigerish looking cat, and he has a lot of character traits that are similar to Hobbes in the comic strip, so we named him Hobbes. We got Hobbes when he was about a year and a half. My wife and I like to rescue animals, and Hobbes has all the traits of Hobbes the tiger. He loves to pounce things. One of his favorite things in the summer is to chase flies that get into the house. Um, Loves to play, but he also loves to cuddle. He is one chill dude when he's not pouncing on things. So here's what Hobbes does when he's not trying to get flies. He is cuddly. He is very, very good at that. My other cat is a little over a year old now at the time when I'm recording this, 2020, and his name is Catorze. Um, he is another rescue. We got him back in 2 Novembers ago, and he is younger than Hobbes and is a little more playful. But he is also starting to become a good chill cat as well. My wife grew up with German Shepherds her whole life. So when we got married and we got a house, we got German Shepherds. Gidget's actually kind of our third German Shepherd now. We rescue adult German Shepherds to give them a good second life. So Gidget came to us about 3 years ago or so. So she's somewhere around 5 years old right now. She is what's called a fawn German Shepherd, is the name of her coat color. She loves going on hikes and walks and loves barking at people. All right. I am the oldest of three kids. You can see my mother and my father there next to me, and then my brother, Christopher, and then my sister, Kara. Everybody but me lives in the Washington, D.C. area still. I'm the only one that kind of moved away, but I'm the oldest of three. Um, Here's what I look like when I don't have a beard, and generally not always with my tongue out. But this is us on a hike, and this is my wife Christina. So she's the one that brought German Shepherds into my life. We are in this picture doing one of our favorite things ever, and that is to go hiking in national parks. You'll see my face mask is often will have the national parks on them. Our goal is to go to all of the national parks. I think there's 62 of them right now, and hike every one of them. So this is us at Vernal Falls in Yosemite National Park. The other thing that I really love doing is woodworking. Some people read to relax, some people exercise to relax. I go down to my basement and I have a wood shop and I make things out of wood. My favorite thing to make there is on your screen, and that is jewelry boxes. I like the problem solving and design process that goes along with them. It just works my brain in a different way, and I get to have something cool when I'm done. I do things like make my own wooden spoons for cooking. Um, so what I do is I go out to a sawmill out in Indiana and I buy lumber that looks like this. And woodworking is an interesting hobby because I take big pieces of wood, cut it into small pieces of wood, and then put it together as a bigger piece of wood, just in a different shape than what I was originally. So here I made a cedar closet, just for what my wife wanted. Uh, Back to jewelry boxes, which is one of my favorite things to make. I brought this picture because this wood here, this light colored wood with all these weird little marks on that, that's what sycamore looks like. So you go to school in Sycamore School District, which is named after the sycamore tree, and that is what sycamore wood looks like. So a lot of people ask, do I sell my stuff? And the answer is yeah. I set up at farmers markets and stuff like that. So you can see here's a table with all the different kinds of things that I like to make and that I like to sell. One of my favorite things to make when it's not jewelry boxes are tables. So this is a table that I made with, if you were on the green team, Mr. Heckman. Mr. Heckman wanted to learn how to build a table because he also likes to do woodworking. And so I said, well, I need a table for my shows. So how about I show you how to make a table? So he and I worked together on this for summer. And yeah, so if you ever see Mr. Heckman, say, hey, that's a really cool table you built with Mr. Bogdan. Mr. Heckman did most of the work. I was just kind of standing behind him, telling him what to do. So now I have that table to set up at my shows. Back to hiking. This is at Olympic National Park in the state of Washington. So, as I said, one of my favorite things to do is to go hiking in national parks. And I love taking this picture. My wife and I always plan a lunch spot on the hike. And we sit down and we prop our feet up and we enjoy the view. So as I get to go back through my pictures of the national parks, I always have this style of picture where I have my feet propped up and I am enjoying the view. This picture is at Northern Cascades National Park. It was one of my favorite hikes of all time. For this picture, we actually hiked the elevation change of 1.5 Empire State Buildings. So we climbed up 1.5 Empire State Buildings, and that was a lot of fun. So this is Mount Rainier, another one that we hiked. Now, to give you an idea of how big this mountain is, here is the mountain in the background. In the picture, this mountain is 90 miles away. So that's like seeing that size of a mountain in Columbus here in Cincinnati. So it's a huge mountain, and I got to say that I hiked, well, some of it. I didn't climb all the way up. All right. So very nice to meet you, or at least give you an introduction about me. That's enough to get you started, hopefully, and let me know if you have any questions.